Batwoman is one of the worst shows that we've gotten from the CW, and while Legends of Tomorrow started off well, it didn't ever seem like a show that would last to me. Like, they only created it as a filler in between the larger series, and no matter how much inclusiveness and diversity they crammed into these shows, no matter how many narratives they pushed in them, it just didn't make up for the awful storytelling, bad CGI, and mediocre acting most of their shows face at this point. And a few weeks ago, I talked about how Batwoman was seemingly canceled because there's been no announcements for another season, and the writers for these shows are begging for renewals. I have a bunch of things to show off, but before we get into the topic at hand, if you enjoy the content that I create, please make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. Follow me on social media like Twitter or mine so that you can see when my content is posted. And of course, if you do really enjoy the videos and the live streams that I create, please consider becoming a Dark Titan via Patreon for just $1 a month, or supporting the channel via YouTube memberships. All of the links are in the description, and of course, I do really appreciate all of the support. So this is a Cosmic Book News article. It says Batwoman and Legends of Tomorrow beg for renewals. I actually liked Legends of Tomorrow at first. I thought it was cool seeing these characters from other series that were more side characters brought into this show, doing these crazy things. Like, I didn't think that it was a bad concept, but Batwoman started off terrible, has been terrible, will always be terrible. I don't think there's any way for them to salvage Batwoman at this point. It says, joining Batwoman, now DC's Legends of Tomorrow begs the CW and Warner Brothers for a renewal, which follows the shows having the lowest ratings ever. And I will show their Rotten Tomato scores in just a few minutes, but audiences do not like these shows, okay? It's not just a couple of people. It's not just like me and you. There are thousands and thousands of people that have tried to give these shows a chance, that have seen the terrible quality of them. It says the CW did recently announce renewals for both The Flash and Superman and Lois, but no mention was made of Batwoman or DC's Legends of Tomorrow, which suggests they are up on the chopping block and are going to get canceled. The Flash started off really well, in my opinion. Again, as the seasons have gone on, I haven't loved it as much as I previously did, but Superman and Lois has been really good in my opinion. I know that the newest season just started. I've been watching it. I've watched all of the Superman and Lois content so far, and I have very few problems with it. I think that it's an overall really good series. It says, regarding Batwoman, earlier this month saw the official Batwoman Writers Room Twitter account tweet in support of a Twitter campaign to bring back Batwoman for Season 4, as the account tweeted the hashtag #RenewBatwoman with a smiling face with heart-shaped eyes emoji, as Batwoman Season 3 debuted recently on HBO Max. It says Renew Batwoman, and I understand that obviously the people behind this project want it renewed, okay? They've put years into working on this project. They want to see it succeed, but clearly audiences do not love it. Clearly viewers are not showing up to watch it. It's got awful scores on things like Rotten Tomatoes and IMDb. Eventually you have to give up on projects, and it just seems like Batwoman is something the CW and Warner Brothers and also audiences have all given up on. And this individual put out a tweet saying it's Lesbian Visibility Week and Batwoman Cast Appreciation Week, and at the Fan Expo, they just dropped Yavaka Leslie's interview. It's only right that I show my gratitude for our Batwoman by sharing a clip where she discusses the impact of representation for the Black and queer community. Now, this person isn't involved in the show, as far as I know, but clearly there's someone who wants the show to get renewed. They're talking about Batwoman Cast Appreciation Week. I have nothing against Yavaka Leslie herself. Maybe she's a great actress in other projects. I think that she's done a very bad job as Batwoman. I also feel like a giant problem with Batwoman is the writing, which she, of course, didn't have a hand in. But overall, the show just isn't good, and in my opinion, doesn't deserve a renewal. This also goes on to talk about DC's Legends of Tomorrow. It says, then earlier in April saw DC's Legends of Tomorrow release the following special message from Beepo promo where the actor Adam Sheeksham, I hope that I'm saying that right, says that they are waiting to hear about another season pickup and that the production office and the Wave Rider are empty, but he hopes someone is looking after it. And this is another show that I think that they'd renew for maybe one more season to finish off the stories of these characters who have been brought onto it. I honestly never thought that it would get 6 seasons. I believe it's on its 6th season. I never thought that it would go that far. I just don't see the hype in the show anymore. I thought the first 2 or 3 seasons were interesting. What they were doing was cool. The cast was really good. But at this point, it's just being dragged on and on and on. And I really feel like they don't need the series anymore. But if we go on over to Rotten Tomatoes, clearly people do not like Batwoman. People do not like Legends of Tomorrow. I want to show some of the ratings. So season 1 of Batwoman, as you'll see, there's a running theme with just Batwoman in general. It was an 80% critic and a 16% audience. The critic scores are always very high, almost perfect. And then the user scores are abysmal. Season 2 had an 85 to a 20, and season 3 is currently sitting at a 33% audience score. And season 3 isn't done yet, so in a couple more weeks, we'll probably see all of the final scores released, but it's only sitting at a 33%, and it's only got 2 critic reviews here, so clearly critics are not even showing up to review this show anymore. And if we go on over to DC's Legends of Tomorrow, this is about the average, again, not a lot of people wasting their time to leave reviews, but it's at 100% for season 6 for Legends of Tomorrow critic, and a 67% audience. And a 67% isn't terrible, it isn't awful, but at the same time, is it good enough to renew a show when you're consistently getting these ratings from audiences? Probably not. With both of these shows, I feel like they gave them a chance. With Batwoman, I don't think they should do another season. They tried to get people to watch it. They tried to get people interested. Clearly, it never went anywhere. Also, with Legends of Tomorrow, I think that 6 seasons is fine. I think that you could happily end it there. People would be okay with it. Of course, there are dedicated fan bases for these shows, but I think that when it's not making them money and it's just losing them money and no one's really loving it, there's not a point to continue them. But of course, we're seeing writers, producers begging for renewals for the show. I don't think either of them are gonna get renewed though. But that's all that I really had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed it, please make sure to give it a like, share it, and subscribe to the channel. And of course, if you didn't, make sure to give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I will talk to you all again in the next video really soon.